Nigeria going to war. Tinubu government receives unexpected message from Arab League after Israel slaughtered over 11,000 Palestinians. Wow. So in a significant diplomatic development, Nigeria has been chosen by both the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the Arab League to be part of the specialized delegation tasked with initiating immediate international effort to cease the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, conveyed this information in an official statement, noting that Nigeria received the message from the Royal Embassy of Saudi Arabia in Abuja on Tuesday. So this decision stems from the resolution adopted during the Joint Arab-Islamic Extraordinary Summit held in Riyadh last Saturday. The resolution explicitly includes Nigeria in a peace team led by the Foreign Minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia alongside the counterparts from Jordan, Egypt, Qatar, Turkey, Indonesia, and Palestine. So the team, with the Secretary General of both organizations, is mandated to spearhead international action on behalf of all OIC and Arab League member states to halt the war in Gaza. The goal is to exert pressure for genuine and substantial political process leading to permanent and comprehensive peace, aligning with established international references. So Nigeria's participation in the diplomatic initiative follows its invitation to the emergency Joint Arab-Islamic Summit in Riyadh, convened to address the conflict in Gaza Strip and Palestinian territories. During the summit, Minister Tuga affirmed Nigeria's steadfast support for the two-state solution endorsed by United Nations as a means to bring an end to the Israeli-Palestinian war. Tuga expressed Nigeria's readiness to collaborate with other nations to end the violence and seek lasting solutions to the conflict. He welcomed the OIC's intervention, emphasizing the need to cease the disproportionate use of force against the people of Gaza. Tuga questioned the ethical implication of the war, invoking concerns about the adherence to the just war doctrine and urging a halt for the sake of humanity. Highlighting the humanitarian tool, Tuga posed a poignant question asking how many more lives must be sacrificed to avenge acts of aggression. He challenged the effectiveness of Israel's use of force on Gaza, questioning its impact on Hamas and emphasizing the importance of evidence in today's data-driven world. The minister concluded by advocating for the rule of law in addressing the conflict and underlining the urgency to halt the violence for the greater good of humanity. So what they are talking now, you want to include Nigeria's diplomatic move to go and stop the war going on at the Gaza Strip in Palestine. So now they're tired of the fight, the Palestinian Hamas started this war by shooting and killing over 250 Israelis during their festival. Okay, when there was already peace, there was no fight anywhere. These people went and woke up the sleeping giant. Now the sleeping giant has started biting and attacking, and they are now crying wolf. How can they survive this? They started it. So the question is, Nigeria being incorporated into the Arab League and into the OIC, that's Organization of Islamic Countries or Cooperation or whatever. So does that make Nigeria an Islamic nation? Because all these I see that Nigeria is already fully integrated into the Islamic nation. Is it into the Islamic community? We understand that, you know, there's freedom of religion in Nigeria, but I just hope that this Muslim ticket is not going to end up declaring Nigeria as a Muslim country worldwide, because Nigeria is not a Muslim country, frankly speaking. But the way Buhari started it, trying to Islamize Nigeria, but it didn't work, I just hope that Tinubu will not be used to actualize the same thing as well, because that would be a very bad move and a very bad situation for Nigeria. Nigeria is not and will never be a complete Islamic nation. It's a multi-religious entity. So there are a few comments. Let's see what people are writing here. Someone said, my question again is, what does this go to show? Do they want to claim that Nigeria is an Islamic country or what? In my thought and understanding, I think and believe that Nigeria is a country of multi-religious group. I advise that Nigeria should not be dragged into this conflict to avoid internal religious crisis. Nigeria is a member of OIC since Babangida era. Take it or not, Nigeria is an estate. Errors, please. Nigeria should avoid Islamic and Christian versus Jewish arguments to see that only principle of humanity is predominant in securing peace for all. And I must wish to add that the Pope, Bill Clinton, and Bill Gates be excluded. Has the Arab helped Nigeria solve the issues in Nigeria? We are battling with ISIS, bandit, and Boko Haram terrorists, coupled with hunger, bad economy, with scarcity of food. You are talking of going to Israel, Palestinian, turned you all for a religion, rascality, and interest. Israel is fighting the war with utmost caution. Hamas is killing their own people by themselves. Okay, like what happened in the hospital. What a wicked organization. During the military rule, they single-handedly drafted the zoo into the OIC. And that is how bad it is for Nigeria. I think that has to stop. There must be a way to correct that. Nigeria has not has hurt her own priority. Hamas are the one killing Palestinians by using them as shield. So the war against terrorists must continue. Now let this Arab never drag us into another problem, okay? As we have no food to eat when there is no war. How much more when the war comes? Although I trust Jagaban, na guy he be, okay? Which guy he be? The problem with Jagaban is that because of his local and international records that they have seen, they are going to blackmail him and use him to achieve all of these aims. Both the Arab world, the Europe, and the US, and everywhere in the world, they will use him because they have his dossier and they will threaten him with it. They will blackmail him with it. Is he going to be blackmailed? That is the truth, and we'll see it. Tinubu is more sensible than to jump into this unnecessary issue. If it is Buhari, he must jump into it. Senseless idiot, can you imagine? We are still battling with our own, struggling with peace and economic downfall. People are dying silently. Kidnapping has turned to normal routine. Hunger everywhere. Life became more bearable, more unbearable for a common man. Nigeria, you better get sense and sort your problem. Exactly. So I think a word is enough for the wise. Nigeria is not an Islamic country, so you don't have right to tell us what we should do. Nigeria is not going to a new war. So what is happening here is that Babangida was the person that drafted Nigeria into OIC using military power. But how can that be undone now? It's a very big challenge. So we must have sense. Otherwise, Nigeria will just be put into another bigger trouble with the international community. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comments.